Introducing National Streaming Sports, live and on-demand sports talk programming that you can access 24/7. For the premier sports talk experience, tap into our Roku channel. Start your mornings with Mac and Jack covering all the weekend sports action. Then pour a cup and enjoy all the sports you can drink on the Coffee and Sports podcast. At midday, talk sports from east to west on the Coast to Coast podcast. Followed at night by some hot girl talk with Prim and Proper Sports featuring Sonia Pearson. Talk boxing on the Gloved Fist. Yankee fans tune in for Start Spreading the News. And there's more on the College Sports Huddle and Sports Scope with Robert Butler. There are 20 podcasts in all and 70 weekly shows giving us a 3.4-star viewer rating. To find us on Roku TV, search for National Streaming Sports on the Roku search bar. Click on the logo and you're in. National Streaming Sports, live and on-demand sports talk for America.
There you go. Keith Angle is in with us right now, and he's kind of slouching in his chair. I don't know if it's because of what we said about the Patriots or not. Go ahead, Keith.
I was ready to come in the room, and I thought some kind of AI was going on here. I started talking. I wasn't even doing anything. So, how we doing, guys?
Morning. Doing well.
Pretty good. How are you?
Good, Keith. How you doing? So,
very good.
So, Keith, let's talk a little about that Patriots news there. The official website, Lazar, the head of the official Patriots website, says especially the wide receivers are having a little questions there. You know, Drake May sitting on the bench. They're rookies also. Some of them young players. They're out getting their butts kicked, and Drake May is not. And, they're a little frustrated with the quarterback right now, Brissett, not getting them the ball. What do you think? Is there a mutiny afoot, Keith?
No. Players play, coaches coach. Shut up, do your own job, and let somebody else worry about those decisions. You guys have got no standing to take any stance about, Boston. I love the Boston media. Boston media was like this when the Patriots were running amok in the league, and they were already looking for a reason to tear this team down. They're amazing out there. We didn't expect this season to be any good. I didn't expect it to go much different than it's gone. So, look, do you want to throw Drake May to the Lions and ruin his confidence for God knows how long? Then go ahead, have fun. But I think the Patriots have taken the right course of action here. And these young kids need to be quiet, learn their own jobs, and that's it.
But consider this, Drake May.
Good evening and welcome to Prim and Proper Sports Friday with the fellas. Of course, this is myself and B. Trilla, of course, the great Mac. We have been starting shows all this month in honor of Mac McGrath, our great producer who we lost a couple of weeks ago now. Good old Mac is the reason why I sit here tonight. B. Trilla, thank you so much for joining me. You guys make sure you download the Roku app so that you two can be in the know when we are live, 24/7 sports without the cost of cable. And hello to Miss Linda. We are still praying for you. Everyone come in, comment, share, and subscribe and do all that good stuff. Strilla, so right now, how was your day, first of all? Let's start there.
It was a glorious day. It was Friday. I got off early, so it was beautiful outside. It was like 82 degrees outside. The wind was blowing just right, so it wasn't, humid and hot. It was great. Sun was out. Sky was blue. Couldn't better ask for a better day from God. That's for sure.
Amen to that. 82 is kind of warm. I mean, it's an 82 there, maybe a different 82 in the South, especially in Atlanta, hot Atlanta. But I'm glad to know that you had a great day. We got a little bit of news to talk about here. Of course, the NBA games right now. This is game 6. The Boston Celtics are playing right now, New York Knicks, and they are trailing significantly. This may be the end of the Celtics tonight. They may be getting, as they said, a Boston Massacre done. It is a almost 20-point game right now. They are in the second quarter, so we'll keep an eye out for that on you guys. Of course, the Denver Nuggets game. Strilla, did you get a chance to watch that game?
I watched like the tail end of it.
What did you think?
I think OKC is in trouble. I mean, they got to start playing better. Shea Butter had 32 points, but it's like he's got to have people up there stepping up with him. He can't be taking on this load by himself. And usually when they win and they beat teams is when he's got other people involved. And let's see. Yeah, Jay Williams wasn't involved. The dude had 6 points. He's the guy that's usually the second guy scoring on that team, and he only had 6 points. So you got to start. You got to do better than this, guys, or you're going to get put out by Denver, because Denver, that's all they need. One more game.
Yeah, win to stay in. This is where we are. Like the entire series has come down to that. I'm actually surprised that Denver is still hanging in there with all the coaching catastrophes they've had, all the general manager issues that they had. They clearly are showing. I mean, it's come out that, maybe Jokic is leading that team. Maybe he's the one coaching behind the scenes as well. What's up, RM Dizzle?
Mason is coming. Okay. Yeah, but I mean, look at with Jokic. He had the game high on his team, 29 points.
Mm-hmm.
But Jamal Murray was there. He had 25 points, and Braun had 23. They had like people coming off the bench scoring. Let's see, who's this dude?
Yeah,
Strother, Julian Strother had 15 coming off the bench. I mean, come on, man. You got people contributing like that, you're going to win games. But that's the problem with OKC right now. They don't have but Shea Butter really playing. So,
well, I mean, the Nuggets coach, David Edelman, of course, newly minted coach there, he expressed concern about Aaron Gordon's hamstring injury that he sustained in that game. I mean, Jamal Murray was ill and played through that, but we see what happened with Stephen Curry with that same injury, Trilla. I mean, that cost the Warriors their playoffs. I mean, he missed the entire first series.
Yeah. That's part of the game, though. You got to play through it. It's kind of like the same thing the Boston Celtics are going through right now. They lost Jason Tatum. Hey, you got to play. Mm-hmm. I mean, you got scores on that team. You got another guy that cost $30 million. You go out there and win the game. But
I got you. Yeah, you really do. Let me ask you a question about this. I mean, we're gonna speak on this, and we're gonna, as they say, we're gonna raise it, address it, and keep it moving. That's what they say in the legal world. Draymond Green, the monster in the league, I like to call him, has it's just no doubt. Everybody knows this dude is like self-made, the modern day bad boy. I mean, he's the worst. I mean, he's attacks his own teammates, his own coaches, the refs, everybody. Well, he just got fined a couple of dollars, and a couple of dollars, $50,000 by the NBA for inappropriate comments now this time made to the officials during their playoff series against Minnesota. This is Green's league high 5th technical foul for the postseason.
Good for him. I like Draymond. I don't know what people. Everybody would want him on his team because he is the enforcer. He's the guy. Let me tell you, if he played for the Pistons, I love him.
We don't.
I like him on Golden State. He fits really well with Golden State, and he's like the evil to the Curry's good. You know what I'm saying? And it works really good with that team. And I like him. I don't care what nobody says. I just think I like him. I like the bad boy image.
I tell you what, next season.
He could play in the 90s. The 90% of these players that play right now couldn't handle the 90s. They're, don't touch me. I got a broken nail.
90s. But you think Draymond could, I'm sure, since he's right. I mean, the fight alone does not make him be the end all be all. He is like the bad dog that's in the neighborhood that when you walk by the house, you hope he's on his leash because he's out of control. And I'm going to tell you, we didn't see it this year. But next year, mark my words, him and Jimmy Butler are going to eventually clash. I could just see it coming. I just know it. Jimmy Butler is not going to deal with that.
That's your premonition. I don't think there's going to be a problem. Tell you the truth.
Jimmy Butler, he's not had the best of attitude.
They'll be fine.
Okay. Well, fine. They're home and fine right now. Do you think Stephen Curry comes back? Steph Curry, because he addressed the media. He said, he want to focus on off time and just healing up, and he's going to give it another run. But he's 37 years old. I don't know. He's put up some big numbers in the game. He's really, really performed well.
He's shooting 3-pointers, and that's his specialty. And he's the reason why the league is changed the way it is. Mm-hmm. but he's the master at it. And he's the best 3-point shooter in the game. I think in any era, to tell you the truth. I think he's the best purest form 3-point shooter in the league. I think he doesn't drive to the rim. He doesn't get physical with folks. He's saved a lot of years on his body by not being those kind of things and being able to take shots from midcourt, 3-point line, whatever. That saves you a lot of body wear, believe it or not. So I think that he can play for another year. I don't think Golden State's good. The people have this opinion that we're going to probably trade him. They ain't going to trade him.
No way. They're not going to trade. No.
Are you kidding me? First of all, everything is in his favor. First of all, you see what happened when he went out, right?
Mm-hmm.
That damn team folded like a lawn chair. So
using my phrase now.
He's the franchise. So nobody's going to do nothing with him. He's kind of like, we'll put it to you like this, since Robbie is up here talking in this. He's kind of like Mike Tomlin. Until he has a reason for somebody or he leaves, that's the only time you're getting rid of him. So that's
What's up, Robbie? We could have just had you on here to talk with us tonight. We didn't know it was
that's right.
Trilla. If you'd like to come on, let us know. I got your number. I could text you the link. Anyway,
I'm just shark bait, Anyway.
No, listen, Strilla's hanging his own, but I'm doing that in case you want some coming, in case you just want your border, because Robbie hangs in there with us with the comments, and I appreciate that. So sometimes you gotta reward your audience, and Robbie can hold his own. I mean, all right. So you're a Draymond fan, so we're gonna move on for that. Let's talk about of course, everybody knows about NBA games that are going. Of course, the Nuggets are gonna be getting ready to have their Game 7, which is who would have thunk it, as they say. And that's going to be Sunday in Oklahoma City, where the champ of that series will be crowned, and on to the finals, the grand finale, the winner of the Celtics and Knicks game here that is wrapping up probably tonight. So kudos to those guys. I mean, at this point, I kind of want Denver to rally and keep it moving. They've rallied so far. They've had so much working against them, but the Thunder is just stacked across the board. I will say this, whichever team ends up going against New York, Thibodeau is going to have to rest his veteran starters. He has been driving those guys like stallions, and he's got a reputation for working his veterans really hard, no breaks, and even when they are facing being fouled out, he still leaves them in there. It's just like he's desperate and will do anything to make sure he secures the win, even at the expense of exhausting your players.
Well, kudos to him.
I mean,
I know everybody. Everybody wants the Knicks to win for Mac, and I appreciate that. I'm sure he does too. I'm not one of them though. You beat my team.
That's how I am. If you beat my team, I don't want to root for you.
I don't want to root for you. I was going for OKC anyway. Didn't even make it there because I know the Pistons weren't going to make it that far. But I was going for OKC anyway, and they still have to play if they win, they still have to play Minnesota. So that'll be interesting. And then, of course, I think the Pacers are going to knock off the Knicks. I feel it because the Pacers are playing like way up there. And they knocked out the number 2 seed.
They're keeping
the number 1 seed. They knocked off the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, they're keeping pace. People were really excited about the Cavs. I just was not. I mean, I know they were ranked number 1 going into the finals. I just was not really buying the hype of who they were. I just feel like some teams just kind of have it like that during the regular season. Then when the postseason comes, that's when you see the true team show up. And I think, in my opinion, that's what I was thinking, and that's what they showed me.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I have a problem with the Pacers is Rick Carlisle.
Mm-hmm.
Rick Carlisle was the Pistons coach for 4 to 5 years, and they always got up to the Eastern Conference Finals, but they could never win. Mm-hmm. And then that's when we got Brown. And once we got Coach Brown, we just went all the way up and hit it, basically got to the championship, won the championship, and we were in the championship the next year. So he has trouble getting over the hump with with these teams, and I hope that he can get over the hump this time when they get into the Eastern Conference Finals, and he can finally beat the Knicks and get into the championship, because he's a really good coach. People underestimate Rick Carlisle. He is a really good coach. He just can't get over that hump.
Yeah, Steve-O says 53 million. What's up, Steve-O? Thanks for joining us tonight. All right, let's talk about some more sports news. We've given these folks, neither one of us has a dog or a cat in the fight. Let's talk about some hockey real quick, and then we're going to flip over to the MLB and wrap up with the NFL. Lots of news to talk about tonight. NHL, this is what's crazy right here. Just the mentioning of these two teams. Carolina Hurricanes have advanced to the Eastern Conference Final after defeating the Washington Capitals in 5 games. But the Florida Panthers, get what I'm saying? Like Carolina Panthers? The Florida Panthers are on the verge of eliminating the Toronto Maple Leafs, holding a 3-2 lead in their series heading into Game 6 tonight. So both of those two stories are the top stories. I'm so used to saying Carolina Panthers, like our football team, that I just thought it was really cool that both of those are at the top of the headlines. Congratulations to my Hurricanes.
Mm-hmm. They played. I figured they were gonna beat Ovechkin in the Washington Capitals. They just, they made a big deal about the President's Trophy, and that's most points in the league. And even though they didn't win it, I think Winnipeg won it. But the point of the matter is that don't make a difference. As a Red Wing fan, I can tell you, you can win the President's Trophy, score 161 points in the season, and still get your butt kicked in the first round. Hockey is a whole different beast in Stanley Cup playoffs. Whole different beast, because 1 seed can easily be beat by an 8 seed, no problem. Because hockey is just an ebb and flow game. But there's other teams are playing. Dallas is a 3-2 leader over Winnipeg right now. Dallas has been playing some extraordinary hockey too. I was kind of surprised because Winnipeg has a very good goaltender. He's one of the best goaltenders in the league, and they've been getting them. And then of course we have the Edmonton Oilers, who wrapped up their series against the Vegas Golden Knights. Edmonton, that is a team right there that people got to watch.
Yep.
They went down 2-0 to the LA Kings, and the LA Kings were destroying them. They won like 6-2 one game and 6-1 another game. I was like, dude, what's going on with Edmonton? And then Edmonton won 4 straight. I said, okay, it's over now. And then they got into Vegas, and they beat them 4-1. I said, yep, Edmonton's right in Stanley Cup mode right now. That's the team to beat right now. Whoever has to play them, I feel sorry for you. That's all I got.
They're ranked like number 3 in the standings. They're 48-29, just 4 games behind the Kings and 3 games behind the Golden Knights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're ranked pretty good. The Pacific Division. And it's funny because when the season started, I actually talked about them a little bit. Kind of they were the team to watch out for. But yeah, B, continue on with this.
So yeah, and so on the Western Conference, that one is going to be. I like the Jets. They did win the last game. They did stave off elimination because it was 3-1 Dallas. They did stave off elimination by shutting out Dallas. So the next game is tomorrow, Saturday. And it's going to be in Dallas. So we'll see if Dallas can wrap up the series or if Winnipeg still got some fight left in them to take it to 7. But that's a hard series to call. I don't know who is going to come out of that series, but that's a hard series to call. Between Toronto and the Toronto Maple Leafs and Florida Panthers, Panthers lead that series 3-2. Right now, they're in the second period and it's 0-0. So they always play tough.
They are. That's more defense than anything. What's up, Pink Fan Fur? The girl behind our reels, the lady extraordinaire.
Fan Fur. What's going on?
And Robbie says, besides the 2018 Caps are just a regular team.
He don't like Washington. He's a Pittsburgh Penguin fan. So that's
why I was like,
anyway.
I can see that. So yeah, they gotta look out for those. Yeah, B.
Yeah, the Maple Leafs, I'm not a big Maple Leaf fan because I'm a Red Wing fan. I can't stand the Maple Leafs, but the Maple Leafs, they haven't been to a Stanley Cup in a long
Underdog.
long time, but they are playing really good hockey. If they manage, and this is another series like the Dallas series, I don't know. If Toronto steps up and they go to a game 7, it's going to be ugly game 7 in both of these matches. So,
who you got pulling it out for each of the conferences so far based on where they're playing? You think the number ones are going to be the ones that stay the number ones?
No, like I said, in the Eastern Conference, I would have to say that. I mean, I like the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes are playing really good hockey. They got that tribe with Brindamore.
Yeah.
When they got in the trade, man, that was one of the best trades.
So many times though, B. Maybe this trade will help them.
I think they'll do good. They pretty much took care of the Capitals. I mean, they took care of the Capitals. I mean, you beat them 4-1, and the Capitals were like favored in this series, to tell you the truth. So, I mean, Hurricanes really put it on them. So I give them, but I'm telling you, I don't. Edmonton, they're playing like right here now. They're playing way up there now. So I think I'm gonna have to go with Edmonton all the way.
We got a score update real quick. I know that's right. Halftime, guys. This game is a wrap. New York 64, yep. Boston 37. It's
27-point
It's
blowout.
a wrap. Boston has folded up. I mean, McBride and them are out there at halftime, high-fiving and everything like the game is over. I mean, they're showing all the celebrities from New York that has clearly pulled all the way up. Jalen Brunson is giving the kiss sign to the crowd like it's a wrap at halftime, and somebody's out there playing with a black eye. Wow. Wow. Okay.
There's everything going on in that game, huh?
Everything. I mean, it's the Northeasterners for real. They get it how they live. Battle of 95. So congrats early to the Knicks. I mean, but let's be clear though, B. The Celtics have been coming from behind those 20-point deficits. This has been that type of playoff series with every team. They come back and overcome these deficits. But I don't know about this.
Nah, not this one. No. If Jason Tatum was in it, I would bank on it, and they probably wouldn't be down by 27 points at this point either.
Yeah,
but I think that I forgot who called it, but they said that they'll go in there and the Knicks will win that game. I mean, the Celtics will win the next game after they were up 3-1. They'll win the next game, and then the next game, the Knicks will take care of them. So I forgot who called it. I think that was Keith. I'm not sure.
Well,
if it was Keith or not.
I said it's basically denying the inevitable. What's up, Bo? Bo, are you free? Bo, you want to come on the show? It's the same link if you want to come on.
Yeah, just boring me with Sonya, so
No, I'm trying to get you. Listen, I'm trying to just make sure
Oh, that was Bo. See, I thought it was Bo or Keith. I knew one of them said that.
No, Bo. Oh no, Bo just said let's go. So maybe he.
No. He. I just read the comment here. He said, "Hey, that was me about the comment I made."
Oh
about the
yeah,
Knicks.
he said it. Oh, sorry,
that was Bo. Yeah.
All right, Bo. Yeah. He said he was being nice, right? Yeah. So all right. Speaking of, let's move on and kudos to all those teams who are getting it done in the NHL. Of course, lots of NHL to be played. Did you finish your wrap up with that segment?
Yep.
All right.
I sure did.
Let's move on real quick. Now, MLB, this is rivalry weekend, y'all. It's Mets, Yankees. It's the Yankees. It's the Yets and the Mankeys. Okay. Mm-hmm. It's Juan Soto's return after his free agency and move on over to the rivals. But here we go. The Chicago Cubs also, their rivalry, the White Sox today, the Cubs defeated them with Pete Crow Armstrong having a strong offensive performance. The New York Yankees, before, I guess, this rivalry, had recently beat the Seattle Mariners powered by a go-ahead home run from Aaron Judge. And this is the Subway Series that they're going to be facing this whole weekend. Boston Red Sox are set to unveil a new City Connect jerseys inspired by the Green Monster at Fenway Park. So lots of baseball stuff going around. I do want to plug in this part. So a couple of days ago, B. Trilla, we all talked about it on the midweek show. The Hall of Fame basically lifting the word permanent from the banning of ineligible players coming from their questionable behavior, I should say, while they were major league players and or owners or managers, what have you. And so now Pete Rose and 16 other people are up for possible nomination in 2027 when that part of the league meets to try to see if they can get a Hall of Famer. Well, Reds were not waiting. Reds had Pete Rose celebration night last night, Bistrilla. They have already basically put him in, and like they literally, their name was Pete Rose night. I mean, what do you think about that? I mean, the Reds, you know, of course they love him still no matter what.
I mean, he is an outstanding baseball player. What you do on the field should be the one that's commended. What you do off the field, whatever. Okay. If you want to, the problem with sports is they're quick to get on people about something that happens every day in this country is betting on sports. Mm-hmm. You have provocated this whole thing by saying, "Hey, Las Vegas is open. Everybody place a bet." Well, okay. So what? Place a bet. I'm not taking nothing away from Pete Rose. I think it was stupid in the first place. They banned him from it because the dude was an outstanding baseball player. There's records that nobody's going to probably ever reach that he has. Mm-hmm. Put him in the Hall of Fame. You want to put him in the Hall of Fame? I don't know what the mindset was when the White Sox, the Black Sox scandal was.
Yeah.
But you
Chicago
know, nobody has a problem. Nobody has a problem putting people in the record book with asterisks by their name. Put Pete Rose in there with an asterisk by a name if you want to do that. But he should be in he should have been in the Hall of Fame when he was alive. So it's just sad.
You're not going to enjoy it. Like, what is the benefit? Like, he's not going to enjoy it. Like, who is this for? What are you doing this for? Like, I'm going to tell you, this is my thing. It's like clearing somebody's name that was wrongfully convicted and executed. That's how I look at it. That's literally how I look at it. I forgot to say this Wednesday. That person's life is gone. They definitely not going to get the benefit of living their life out, even though they were innocent. And you can say their name, you can hashtag it, you can do whatever you want. You cannot undo their fact that they are unalive at this point. So who are you guys? Who Reds fans? What difference does it make? Pete passed away last September, 83 years old. He lived a good life. That's a good life. It's a blessing to be in your 80s. But now it's not even a year later. Now they're lifting this, you know. They want to be more appeasable. I blame the time that we're in, Bistrilla, because everybody wants to, on one hand, you have the whole, let's go ahead and get rid of everybody that's making victims out of certain people. But then you have other crimes that you're like, well, maybe we were too hard on that. No, this is my thing. Right is right, wrong is wrong. There's no in between. You're either all wrong on whatever you're doing or whatever it is, or you're all right. A lie is the same as unaliving somebody. It's still wrong.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, like I said, I just don't feel that, to tell you with Bo, he didn't do it while he was alive because he was being a jerk about it. I don't care.
Yeah.
I just don't care about that stuff. T.O. is a jerk. He ain't in the Hall of Fame, but he should be. He was a great receiver, but he's not in the Hall of Fame because people have this tendency to put emotions into whatever they do. Mm-hmm. Look at the man's career. Don't look at what the hell he says to the media or anything else. So he's a jerk. Who cares? Mm-hmm. You know, he's still one of the best baseball players to ever play the game. Come on. Yeah. So put him in the Hall of Fame, and you should have done it when he was alive. This whole thing just makes me sick. I'm tired of everybody being, God over everybody. Saying, oh, you don't deserve this and you don't deserve that. And you don't deserve nothing. How about that?
Yeah. Speaking of, let's take a small 1 minute and 30-second break. Bistrilla and I'll be right back. We got to do a commercial break real quick. You guys hang tight. Don't put up any comments about NFL. We know it's coming. I've told you guys want to tell our story before me and Bistrilla can even get to it, but we'll be back in just a moment.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Oh my goodness. And thanks to the Huddle Sports Network, thanks to Elite Sports and Entertainment Network, and of course, National Streaming Sports, all three platforms. Thank you so much for allowing me to be on tonight. Bistro and I are back, guys. Let me see. We got comments coming in still. And of course, this show is dedicated to Mac, as we said at the top of the show, Mac McGrath, our producer here at National Streaming Sports that we have lost a couple of weeks back. Make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel, Prim and Proper Sports. Trilla, since it's you on here tonight, why don't you tell folks how to find you? Because you have your own show.
Yeah, it's One Ass Cheek, Three Toes. It comes on every Sunday at 4 p.m. during the summertime, and it'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesdays when the NFL season starts. It's basically a Lions show, but we try to mix in all 32 teams or all 31 other teams into our show as well, because we like to include them because we do have to play them too, and they do matter.
And what you got coming up on Sunday?
And Sunday, it's going to be the AFC North debate. The Steeler fans, the Raven fans, the Cleveland fans, and the Bengals fans are going to go at it. And it should be a rocking good time, especially with Raven fans. So it's going to be a lot of Ravens and Steeler fans. So that's going to be that could be a show by itself, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. But, oh no, Steve-O. Okay, so all right, so I'll be there. You guys make sure you're there. It'll be streamed right here to this platform as well. We support one another, and y'all AFC North people better bring it, because when we came for the NFC South, we had a gang of views, and the energy was everything, and we had so much fun, and we're looking forward to doing it again before the season kicks off. And Nate, Bistrilla, and Germanic are amazing hosts on that platform. You guys got to check them out. A lot of knowledge. I mean, of course, it's Lions oriented, but they, like they said, they include a lot of other channels, other sports as well on there to talk about everything. So if you detwaa, they might go in there talking about BMF or something one night. Who knows? But anyway, shout out to Bistrilla. Thanks for joining me tonight, bro. I really appreciate you. And we miss you to J Train, Fern, Kevo, and Nate tonight. Nate thought it was more important to watch a team that he doesn't even live in the state and has never even visited. But Nate, we see you. Everyone else, we know they had prior obligations, and we will reconvene with them at another time. All right, so you got some comments here. Gary Sheffield, yeah. Let me tell you, why isn't Gary Sheffield in the hall? Like, he was one of my favorite players.
Because he just like what, and yeah, Owens is in a Hall of Fame, but it took him a long time to get there, though, Steve-O. And Gary Sheffield isn't there right now because of the same thing that Pete Rose and T.O. done. They don't like the media, and if the media doesn't want, if they don't cater to what the media wants, then they're going to be like, hey, you know what, screw you. You're not going to be anywhere. You're not going to go in the Hall of Fame. We got, that's BS.
That's crazy. Let's do a small little plug for golf. The PGA Championship is underway. Jonathan Vegas holds the lead after the second round with Siwoo Kim and Matt Fitzpatrick among those close behind. Several notable players, including Jordan Spieth, Brooks Koepka, and Phil Mickelson missed the cut. Siwoo Kim notably hit a hole-in-one during the second round. I didn't even know Phil Mickelson was still playing. Okay, that's cool. All right. Of course, got the soccer season going on. Lionel Messi's teammate Jordi Alba has signed a contract extension to remain with Inter Miami through the 2027 season. That's soccer news. And let's talk about my favorite subject, the one that everybody's been loading up these comments on, the NFL. The big news, of course, today, Mr. Irrelevant is finally relevant to the tune of $265 million for 5 years. Mr. Broccoli Purdy. They finally got it done for 5 years. Bistrilla, I mean, is he literally solidly, like, this is a point where I'm telling you right now, this is when you know it doesn't matter where you went in the draft. It's how you play. Tom Brady always says that. We said that a lot this year with Shador going so late in the draft. But Brock is banking.
The highest paid quarterback right now. Good for him.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah.
I'm glad Goff got his deal before all this stuff went down. But that's okay. Purdy, pay him. Hey, they're gonna pay him. That's what San Francisco had to do. They had to get rid of all their players to pay him.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like, what are you gonna do? You know, what are you gonna do now that you've paid him this money? What type of production are you expecting to see out of him? Because over the last few seasons, he's played 40 games, 36 starts. He's 23-13 as a starter, 67.5 completion rate. You guys know how I'm about stats. I always got to run those. 95-18 passing yards, 64 touchdowns, 27 interceptions, so not quite half. So that's good. Passer rating 104.9, rushing attempts 127, rushing yards 480, and rushing touchdowns 8. That's when his season from 2022 to 2024. Regular season stats just for last year alone. He played 15 games, so 3 of them he did not play. Started for 15. Record as a starter, he was 6-9, ranked 65.9, and basically had 38, 64 yards, 20 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Passer rating was 96.1, so that was decent. Rushing attempts 66, 323 yards, and 5 rushing touchdowns. He was Pro Bowl selection in 2023 and led the NFL in passer rating in that same season, Strilla.
I mean, yeah, he had a decent season. He wasn't really good. What's up, Yoli? And congratulations again, by the way.
GBZ.
Yeah. And yeah, and they lost more than that, Steve-O. They lost Debo. We don't know what Ayuk's going to be like when he comes back, you know. So, I mean, we don't know what Trent Williams' status is going to be like either, because he could retire. You know, he just had a major injury again. It's just Purdy is he ain't, how can I say this without being mean about it? He's not the best quarterback, but he plays on a team that has a lot of weapons around him, a lot of pieces around him.
Well, is he a manager? Is he a game manager then?
I mean,
that's what that is.
I haven't really seen him make plays to win a game. I haven't seen him make plays to lose a game. Well, I can't say that either because I have. I think he's like a game manager. I hate the game because every quarterback's a game manager. No,
some quarterbacks actually make the plays happen, B.
Well, no, game managing means you manage the offense going down the field. That's what a game manager does.
To me, it's
game manager is not a game. He's a guy that won't necessarily win you the game. He can lose you the game, and I don't know. We just got to see what he's like this year. He's not going to have that many weapons around him. We don't know how long CMC is going to last back there. They got rid of Mason. They got, he went to Minnesota. They don't have Debo no more. They don't have who else is that? Oh, they don't have Greenlaw. Greenlaw went to Denver. Hufanga, also the safety that was from San Francisco. I think he went to Denver as well. So I mean, they don't have a lot of that stuff behind him.
Said the 49ers are back.
Yeah, and how did he manage? And how did he manage when they lost to Minnesota when he didn't have anybody? Steve.
But you notice okay.
Steve is a 49ers fan. That's the reason why he.
Yeah, but I'm saying, you see how Robbie said something, but Robbie never said yay or nay about the link either. So that lets you know. Throwing rocks and living in a glass house.
Yeah. You guys ain't back. You guys are digressing. I'll put it to you like that.
Digress. All right. So listen. So are you saying you don't think? No, let me back up. So this is what I always say, B. Every time we see somebody get a contract, it's like monkey see, monkey do. Like literally, you got this. Let me go get $10 more than what you got. Or in this case, $1 million more than what you got. And it's not even about the talent. Look at how Trevor Lawrence at one point had the highest paid quarterback contract, and he did nothing for JV. For Duval, he did nothing for them. He took the U out of Duval. Okay, that's what he's doing because they ain't doing nothing. And we opening the season up with them too, and we ready. Want to let y'all know we coming, Jacksonville.
You're gonna do. We ready.
We ready. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna be giving a lot of Duval calls that week. I'm gonna be Duval, you know, and I need to see if I can get Nikki on here. Tally Jag, she's a big super fan for the Jacksonville Jaguars. She was on my show a while back. I'm gonna see if I can't get her to come on here then, because we don't ever play them ever. Like I think every 10 years we play them.
Yeah, the cat teams don't always play play each other all the time. Like we played Cincinnati this year. So
Speaking of, I'm glad you segued into that. Good segue, B. You didn't even know, but this is what I want to talk about next. We talked about a little bit on Wednesday with the midweek show, the professional show that we're all on. But Cincinnati got some problems. They put all this money into Jamar Chase and that offense with around Burrow. Their defense is going to be extremely lacking. Now you drafted Shamar Stewart, who's like, hey, you guys are not giving me what I think I'm worth. According to last year's draft, the 17th pick you guys had, his skills were less par than mine. You paid him more than you're paying me or offering me. And then you got Trey Hendrickson that's dangling out there that's not, happy with the contract extension they're offering him. And so they basically gave him permission in March to go ahead and seek a trade. Like, listen, if you can get somebody to pick you up, go on, deuces. But now he's complaining on social media and everywhere saying that they're not even talking to him. There's no communication except for they reached out to let him know, hey, by the way, you're missing mini camps. You're being fined.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Trey Henderson, Cincinnati's is messing around with him. I either sign him or let him go. Just let him go. Just let him go get a trade for whoever team he wants to be with and let that team make a decision whether they want to pay him or not because he deserves to pay. The dude had 17 and a half sacks. He led the league this year. Yep. I think he was a half sack short last year. I'm not sure. I think TJ Watt had the sack lead last year, but he still had 17 and a half sacks 2 years in a row. And he's been getting better ever since he got away from New Orleans. So I don't want to hear it. I don't care if he's 31 years old. If he can do half of that, he's still worth that money to me.
I mean, they promised him. They told him, that with him being the leader like that, this is where this all came from. That they promised him. The Bengals organization told him, "Hey, we got more money for you," and now they're like, "Oh no, we don't." But you know why it is, right, B? Because they gave all their money to Chase and Burrow and all these folks in the offense. They don't have no more money for them.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, that was going to be apparent when they signed Higgins. So I mean. You live by the offense, you die by the offense. If you don't have their offensive line is not the greatest. Their defense is definitely not going to be good. And I just can't see them putting Shamar in that position where he's not going to be Hendrickson. And I think that's the reason Shamar's throwing a fit right now because he thinks Hendrickson, they're going to try to pay Hendrickson and he's going to be the second guy on the team in the defense. Basically, and he wants to be, just like any entitled player that comes out now, they want to be first string on the offense, or on the defense. So, I mean, I don't know. Cincinnati's messed up. I mean, we could segue this into Chicago too. Chicago's another team. They're leaving. Yeah, they're leaving Soldier Field. They're going to go out to Arlington Heights to get their new stadium. And on top of that, let's segue into Green Bay.
Before you get to Green Bay, Trilla, have you been to Soldier Field?
No.
Okay, so I have, and I've been to Chicago multiple times. I have former family members that live there. And the distance that they are moving this team is the reason why I'm bringing this up. Arlington Heights is not like a sneeze away from where Soldier Field is. So I will tell you, I've been to an actual game and the parking and navigating is a nightmare on game day. It's just, I don't know what they were thinking when they put that stadium right there in the heart of downtown Chicago. But that's probably why they're moving it. Because if you think the last time I went to a game was 2017, sorry. Yeah, 2017 or 18. I had surgery, 17. So that's how I remember because I had a cast on my leg and I had to use a wheelchair. But I was going to that game. But this is the thing. I remember it being absolutely a headache just to go through 2 traffic lights to get to the stadium. Now, granted, Atlanta has their stadium downtown. Most teams, Bank of America is in Charlotte. U.S. Bank is in Minneapolis. I've seen all these. They're in the heart of downtown, but I don't know what it looks like on game day. On Lakeshore Drive, getting into Soldier Field, you may as well have took the ocean and came up through Lake Michigan to try to get to the back of the stadium and get on there. But to move it to Arlington Heights, it's kind of akin to when the Braves moved the Braves Stadium from downtown Atlanta and put it out in Cobb County. Now it's Truist Park, and it's away from the city and that bottleneck area. So I see what they're doing, but at the same time, you may lose some fans that are not able to ambulate over to the game now because it's outside of the metro area. That's what happened with the Braves. Once they moved it out to Truist Park, which was off of another interstate, but it's not centralized in downtown, a lot of people complain like, hey, I used to take, public transportation to the games. I used to go walk to a game because it was right there. Now you move it outside a little bit to the suburbs, you lose part of your fan base because the older fan base, they don't have the resources to get to and from like we do, or like they would if the team had stayed stationary. So moving this team out to Arlington Heights, even though Bears fans are loyal, and they'll appreciate the navigation part, that's a big miss to move that from that area.
I think the thing that's washed over this whole, these teams can get those people that were loyal fans that had limited transportation. They can get them out to all they got to do is have shuttles. And if you can pay to put your stadium out there in the suburbs, then you can pay to have shuttle services coming from the city.
They do not have shuttle services to this day to Truist Park.
Right, yeah, and that's a problem. That means your football team is not looking out for the people that were loyal to your football base. I don't understand that, and we don't have that problem in Detroit because all three of our stadiums are like right there in the middle of downtown, and there's no congestion. We've had 3 games down. We've had 3 games down there at one time. Tigers, the Pistons, I think it was like Pistons and Red Wings, and then the Lions were playing. And we had them all down there at one time. And yes, it was crowded, but it wasn't as congested. This is one of the reasons why I hate Chicago, because you can't get nowhere in Chicago. Chicago's a bunch of one-way streets. And it's ridiculous. It's you can't get nowhere.
You have been there. Or you just haven't been
I haven't been in the stadium. Yeah. I haven't been
the new stadium is 27 miles away from Soldier Field. And right now, going down 90 East, because you got to take 90 or 290 to get there, it's a 45-minute ride. And that's just now at 8 o'clock at night, their time. Imagine during the daytime how crowded that area would be and how long that travel would take. But anyway, they have a train that goes out there, just a FYI. They do have the train that comes out, the Metro train. I've ridden it. It's pretty nice. It's like the train out of Penn Station. So they're going to go there. Right now, they're only charging them $3 to $7 to ride it. So clearly that's the avenue they're going to take. See, Atlanta doesn't have that. They have a train, but it doesn't go out to Cobb County.
That transportation is pretty much solved. If you got a train that goes out to Arlington Heights, then that's good. Then that's going to, the people that couldn't get there, barely get there as it was, but they were fans that got there. This might be even easier for them. Yeah, they got to come out their pocket $3 to $5, but at the same time, they get the advantage of getting there faster, being on a train, and they get there on time because the trains run on time. So it's, we hope they run on time. But yeah.
Yeah, let's stick with Chicago for just a second. I know it's painful. Caleb Williams has been in the news today. This book is coming out by this ESPN writer. And his dad is quoted as basically doing what Shedeur Sanders' dad did, but now this is real prominent. But these dudes, Caleb and his daddy, basically tried to get out of the draft altogether. And in fact, they're even saying after Caleb got to Chicago that he got no guidance on how to watch film.
This is not a story. You want to know why it's not a story? Because we heard this story 2 years ago when he was a rookie. Same story. Same story. Stop retreading stuff and putting it out there after he's been there a year or two. Come on. Stop. We already know he didn't want to go to Chicago. He said, I'm not going to go play for Chicago. In fact, he did not want to play for Chicago. I mean, players are going to have that. Okay, you're going to get players like that. Amon St. Brown didn't want to play for Detroit when he got drafted. He wanted to play for Green Bay, where his brother was. But you see how he ingested the city and everything, and now he's cool as hell. And
but that's the reason he want to be there with his brothers. Kind of different than just saying Caleb Williams not want to go.
And that's not necessarily true. He just didn't want to be in Detroit because Detroit sucked. Okay, at the time. But Chicago, and Chicago sucked too, and that's the reason why Caleb didn't want to go to Chicago, because he already saw what the quarterback situations have been there. So, I mean, I don't blame him for not wanting to go to Chicago, but at the same time, dude, when you get drafted, just go with the flow. It's just a gift to be drafted.
Grateful, yes, that's what I'm getting at. Like, oh my gosh, okay, yeah. So you wanted to mention Green Bay. What are we talking about here with Green Beezy?
Elton Jenkins, offensive lineman for the Green Bay Packers, is hollering about his contract.
Oh Lord!
Last year, he's got 2 years left on his contract right now, but they're making him move to center. What they did last year, because the center that they had didn't do what he was supposed to do, so they moved Jenkins to center. I think this correlates with the fact that Jenkins is moving to center. They said, dude, you drafted me to play a whole different position than they did. Yeah, I got paid for it. Now you want me to move me to center, and I'm not really. He hasn't played center since, I think he said he hasn't played center since high school or something like that. And so now they got him they're putting him in that position. Now he feels, well, dude, if you're gonna change my position, you're gonna change my salary too, because I want more money. So now he's starting to spout off about that. And I think and I believe that he hasn't said that directly. But I'm pretty sure that's the reason why he wants a contract renegotiation, because he's playing center, and Green Bay is making him play center. So that ought to be interesting, because Green Bay didn't make a lot of moves off season. They did get Matthew Golden, as a receiver, which they did need a receiver on that team, but they really didn't make a difference. The only thing, they're probably the only team in a division that has a solid, they still have their offensive and defensive coordinators from last year. Everybody else kind of changed everything around. Like Chicago has a new coach. Detroit has two different offensive and defensive coordinators. Minnesota's the offensive coordinator is gone, so they got to bring a new one. Like, that doesn't matter anyway, because KOC is the offensive coordinator, really. But those are changes within the other three teams in that division, and Green Bay's kind of stayed fast to what they have. It's a mess right now in the NFC, because everybody's trying to. It's a tough division. This division is tough. It's probably the toughest of any division has ever been in a long period of time, and I'm even including the AFC North. The AFC North used to be a really tough division too, because all the teams used to be halfway decent. But now it's the NFC North's turn, and I'm telling you, it's tough. And if somebody makes the wrong move in this division, player personnel rise, and it affects them during the season, that could be playoffs for them. It could be a division title for them. It could be any serious things they won't have at the end of the season. So that's
pretty big.
Too.
That's pretty big. I mean, you talked about how competitive the different divisions are, especially NFC North, and that's where we're going to wrap up our show tonight and talk about a proposal. The NFL owners are actually going to be voting next week on a proposal to change the playoff seeding, Trilla, where teams would be seeded strictly by their regular season record rather than automatically awarding the top 4 seeds to division winners. I love that. I love that.
The Lions were the ones that proposed that.
Yes, I was about to say.
Now I'm not going for it because the Lions proposed that, because I wanted them to change that format for the longest time, even before the Lions even mentioned that, because I thought that was stupid. I said, okay, so you put the division winners in there, that's fine. Okay, we'll do that. But if you got a 9-7 division winner and a 12-5 team has to play them because they're in a wild card because they play in a tough division, you mean to tell me that you want them to go on a road to the home team? And they'll say, well, if you're 12-5, they should beat them at home. No, they don't deserve that. They should have the home game and a division winner that has 9-7 records should go to them.
Yeah, that's what I felt like too. And you guys, but the thing is, even though the Lions are the ones that proposes, and it definitely makes a lot of sense because we saw it really affect you all more than anybody. It's still going to be a long shot.
It didn't affect us because we won a division. It affected Minnesota because had Minnesota, if they played in the current format.
Well, when I say you guys, I don't mean your team. I mean the division. Like you guys' division was the one that's affected by that the most.
Yeah, because Minnesota would have played. I think they would have played Tampa Bay, and the Rams would have played Philadelphia. And considering the fact that the Rams and Philadelphia played a pretty tight game that could have went either way. You know that the playoffs could have just changed. Washington wouldn't have been playing the Lions. They would have been playing Tampa. Oh, they would have been playing Tampa Bay. That's what it was. They would have been playing Tampa Bay.
I thought, yeah, instead of Philly. I got you because I was about to say I thought that it was I thought they were supposed to play them, but that's the time.
Steve-O, you know what I meant, man. Come on.
9-7 is only 16 games. I always thank you, Steve-O. I always know that I can never figure out at the end of the season how they come up with this team way over here needs to lose for you to still be in. I don't get that. So I hope this rule would be implemented and this would eliminate all that math.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good proposal. Like I said, it should have been made 5 to 10 years ago, in my opinion. So,
I mean, they're getting some pushback about it. Everybody's never going to be happy 100% of the time. But
I can't wait until the tush push rule, because that's another thing that they're going to be going into because they're tied. They said they're tied 16-16 in the tush push rule thing, and that's because Green Bay had a cry about it.
Wow, I don't get that. Like, why is there a split on it? Because they're saying it's a appropriate play.
Or inappropriate play, or whatever the case may be.
It's a quarterback sneak. It's a quarterback sneak. But if really your whole line is pushing you over,
it's as simple as that. And if you can't stop it, well, find a way to stop it. I've seen it stopped a few times. It's not like you can't stop it.
Yeah,
but you're saying you're trying to take something away from Philadelphia that they did. So
yeah, the brotherly love shove.
Mm-hmm.
You guys like that? The brotherly love shove. Yeah,
that's better than a tush push.
Yeah, I hope you guys like that. He said tush push needs to go with some.
It is not unstoppable, Robbie. It has been stopped many times, dude.
Speaking of unstoppable, it's the end of our show. Trilla, thank you so much for joining me tonight on behalf of the fellas. Always a good time when you come on. Thanks for holding it down. Thanks, Dizzle, Steve-O, Pink, Fanfare, everybody else that jumped on here tonight. That I forgot. Thank you guys so much for all the likes, love. Tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Start off with us fresh and early. The debate show, myself, Jack, and Jay Train will be on. Shows throughout the entire week. And of course, Trilla will be joining me on Sunday morning for the Sunday morning sports show at 8 a.m. where we talk about all the hottest news. And we'll be talking about this game here. Final score check before we log off. 82-51. Of course, Knicks 31-point lead right now. And looks like they are, even with this third quarter, there's no way they're going to come back up in the last quarter. We wish everybody a good night. Be blessed, guys. Y'all be safe. And until next time, we'll see ya.